Ready? Jumping into it?
Yeah, welcome to another episode of Grind Culture Podcast. I am Ed.
And I am Colton.
And we have, well, before that, I haven't posted last episode yet. It's going to go up Friday. I think we're going to start posting them on Fridays just so you guys could enjoy them for the weekend, I think, opposed throughout the week. Because I know life gets busy, and I think that's what we're going to start doing. We talked about it in the past, so we're going to start posting on Fridays. So last episode we filmed on a Friday, but we'll post this on Friday. We're filming Wednesday, but we'll get it all coordinated for you guys to enjoy our podcast on Fridays now and whenever actually you even get to it. It doesn't matter.
Yep. Better flow.
And then again, I will be contacting, I haven't contacted the winners yet of the raffle.
I did one.
You did one,
on my side,
but I got to do the other one, and you'll be contacted soon if you listen to this. I apologize for the delay, but you will get your coffee, I promise. So long that you respond.
He didn't win.
No, he didn't win. Sorry. We did see your entry though. Speaking of,
it was high chances, like 1 of 8.
Yeah. Speaking of entries and who entered and who participates in our silly raffles and who probably listens to our podcast, hopefully, we have a special guest here, Colton's brother. Do you want to actually? How about you introduce your brother?
All right. Yeah. This is my big brother, Cody. Yeah, let's welcome him, and we're stoked to have you on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's my big brother, man. He's been my best friend my whole life, so it's pretty cool. We're both living our life right now, just in business and all this fun stuff. And you know, we geek out on coffee together. We geek out on life together. Health and wellness is huge in our life, especially my brother. He's the king of it. So now that we, as you guys know, we are in this time of kind of just putting coffee on the back burner for a few episodes and talking about like life and health and wellness and just living that lifestyle. So everybody, welcome my brother Cody. What's up, man?
What's up?
Yeah, we'll talk about coffee because obviously
we're stoked to have you. I think we've been talking about having you on since the 5th episode.
You've been on top of the list for sure. And I know you live far away. You live in the mountains because that's where you guys are from. So it's finally nice to get you into the podcast because Colton's right. You've been on top of our list for a long time, just because Colton talks about you all the time. And I don't want to say I feel like I know you through Colton, but he talks about you so much because him and I kind of banter and reminisce and just like talk about family in general. Mm-hmm. You're always brought up, and it's nothing but good things. So I want to get to the bad thing. No, I'm just kidding. I want to
Bring it on, dude.
Real nitty-gritty.
I want to get to, so I have like tons of questions. I was talking to Colton earlier before you came, and he's like, well, do you have any questions? Do you have like anything jotted down? I was like, oh, I have them all jotted down right here because I have tons of questions. And kind of, I don't know, I don't want to like kind of delegate this podcast to be short or anything. I just kind of want to let it flow. But Colton has mentioned, since this is a coffee podcast, I kind of want to get this out of the way. He did mention that you were into coffee before you, right? He kind of introduced you into coffee.
Yeah.
How did you get into coffee? Like specialty coffee, not like just like the Folger stuff that everybody drinks.
Shoot, I don't know. Like college probably would be the catalyst for sure. I was always, I don't know, like high school, we'd go down to like the gas station and like before the bus. And it was either you buy a Monster or you get like a tall coffee and just blast it full of whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
However many creamers you can fit in there.
I don't know how they like high school kids do that, but
yeah, I guess.
So I was into caffeine, and then you get into college, and it was like where I went to college at Humboldt State, and they just had like their food and their quality of everything is just like unmatched. Yeah. Like they have coffee roasters everywhere. They have beer, like breweries everywhere. Like it's an amazing place. Really? And I guess, I don't know, growing up, we were always into just like quality, like pure ingredients too. I was kind of down with like our mom just was like, that's such an amazing cook. And I don't know, I feel like all that kind of like adds in, and then it's like when you find out like, oh, like coffee, like I'm drinking garbage coffee, and then you hear a couple of things here and there like, oh, you should be drinking this, and then it popped in my head. Okay, so what got me into really good coffee was I I think it was 2013. I was just graduating college, and I put my name on this board to get a job. Just like, I'll do anything. Just it was, I forget what the name of it was, but it was like you put your name on and people call you like, I need some weeds pulled or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
And I started working for this guy. I think he passed away now, but he was a doctor, and he's like, hey, come in for some coffee. I was working for him. I was building like a wall or something for him. And he had his own little roaster, like had the green beans. He had a little notebook and everything. And
heck yeah.
Dude, he poured me an old cup of coffee and microwaved it, and it was the best cup of coffee I ever had. I was like, dude, what the heck? He's like, and he's the one who told me, like, always get look at the date on the bag and make sure that it's not like roasted last year, you know?
Oh, right,
and I was like, oh yeah. And then he was even like, French roast is garbage. I was always kind of like, I think I like French roast. It's stronger, right? That's like the thing. But, and he like opened my mind to like a medium roast, whole bean, like grind it yourself. And I just had like a blade grinder. I bought one, and that was kind of it.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
That surprises me because
I didn't even know that story.
Now I know why. Well, one, that's cool. That's really an interesting and cool way to kind of like find out that you like specialty grade coffee, or that you just know about coffee in general. Like mine is just kind of just working here, and I was like, oh yeah, I just stumbled upon getting a job. And I mean, I guess it's kind of the same way that you found out about coffee. I just happened to work with the industry. But hearing that, it totally makes sense that you started getting into coffee. Did he influence you like immediately about coffee, do you think, or did like somebody else do that?
Not really. It wasn't until I really worked here until I really was like, oh shoot. Like I knew there was good coffee and good coffee shops, and like the quality was there, and the buy whole bean, like small things like that. But when I definitely didn't know anything I knew until I know now. Like I barely drank coffee black. It's like if we were camping or something like that, it was like, yeah, I'll drink it black. But it wasn't until I started working here I was like, oh shoot, like there's a whole world of coffee. I need to be drinking it black. I need to be developing my palate. And so
I know you're
5 years in it now.
I know you're a busy guy, and I mean, we work around coffee, so we're always around it, and it's kind of like part of our lives just by nature. Do you still like follow coffee trends or like try out different coffee shops like with you and your family, or like do you even have time for that?
Like if we're traveling or something, like I'll definitely search out like a good coffee shop, and I feel like that's the only way to go.
And does your wife share that passion with coffee or no?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And you do have you have
less. I don't know. She's fun. Like she's a little smarter than I am, and she can get more into things. Like she'll learn from Colton how to brew coffee, and she'll even be like, oh, like she came home because she was just down here a couple weeks ago. She's like, oh, this is how you do a pour over. She's like measuring it out and everything. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Oh,
or I'll
dang.
just like dump coffee in and be like, it's funny because I really like good coffee, but I'm like, I like to do it the easy way, the easiest of the hard way.
You know what I mean? you got things to do and people to see, places to go. So I'm sure, like whatever's easier. Sometimes I feel that way, even as me working in here or like the coffee industry. Sometimes I just like having it quickly done to go, and so I don't really have any options to do that anymore because I kind of let my life not have that option. Right. But I do understand that feeling. Like I'm just, all right, I got to get it done, and let's just go. And like the nuances of like pouring the right amount, like right measurements and stuff. Like sometimes it gets like fatiguing, but I do enjoy it more so now than I used to, for sure. Yeah, and even at like that level, I mean, really the important thing is how you're buying your coffee and what coffee you actually have.
Right. And like you said in multiple podcasts, was like grind too. Like grind is the mix between them all. So like I do a French press, right? Because I can even let it sit forever. I'm like, it still turns out great. But as long as I do, like, I have my perfect grind, I have the coffee I like, and that's usually how I test the coffee too. If it's not good in the way I do it in the French press, it's just like, I'm not gonna mess with this anymore. You know?
There's no point.
The French press is like a really easy go-to. What I used to do when I started drinking coffee, that's what I always used to use. But Yeah, I was curious about you and your coffee and like how you integrate it in your life, or if like you even do or not, because I've heard that you have not way before, but before Colton. So I was just kind of interested in that.
Yeah.
But
let's do introduction. Like let have you introduce yourself. Tell us.
Yeah.
Who you are, what you do.
Cody Johnson, Colton's older brother.
Yeah. So,
we're 3 years apart, so it was pretty cool. He was a freshman when I was a senior, so that's a good.
Yeah.
We were actually like that. We have 2 older sisters, and we all got to have that. Every time, like when I came into high school, my sister was a senior, and everyone knew her, so I was just like right in there. It was pretty sweet, but
I love that. That was so fun.
Yeah.
It's just so
like
cool.
you're just like, there's no pressure, you know. Like if something happened, like someone had your back.
Yeah.
Everybody's walking up, like all the seniors walking. What up, G? Like, Cody's little brother. I was like, yeah.
I never had that with my brother. We were always like, I was going to be a freshman, and he just graduated, so never experienced that.
Start.
Almost. Yeah, exactly.
Gotta make a name for yourself.
And it was not good. It was not good reputation with the teachers at all. Like, my brother didn't leave me with a good a good foundation for high school, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But go on, sorry.
Yeah. Right now I have a tree business. I'm a contract tree guy. I run it myself, and then have a couple people under me, and then we also own a gym, me and my wife. So.
Yeah, big time entrepreneur here.
It's just hard work for people, you know.
Yeah.
Well, did you always know that you wanted to own a business, whether it's owning a gym or having is it tree cutting, right? Or just like, is there a specific like verbiage other than like just tree cutting business?
No, a lot of people like to use the term arborist, but arborist is like a scientific, like I can't call myself an arborist because I don't have an arborist certification. I do tree work, so that's why I like.
Tree work.
Yeah.
Cut trees
guy.
down.
Cut tree guy.
Or you could be a faller or a feller, you know, or I don't know. But, I never even, even to this day, I don't even think about myself as an entrepreneur. Like,
Really?
I don't know why, but I don't know. I've worked for a lot of people, but I always see, like, I would just get jobs and do it myself. And I mean, straight out of college, I was working for myself. Just taking on handyman stuff, and then
like that job you got with that doctor.
Yeah, that was the time. Yeah, I had like 4 different people I was working for with big pieces of property, and I was just, schedule it out and then go do it, and then and you know, it's like, I think just like work ethic and everything, it adds up, and people are like, oh, we want you, keep going, and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then I think the ability to take on new tasks and not be scared of it, or like, I don't know, I've never, like, I'll get nervous, but I'll do it and then be like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
So
Where do you think you got your work ethic from?
probably both sides of our family. My dad and my mom were both very hard workers. You know, my dad had some mishaps, but like we were raised like just working out in the yard, and like shoveling snow. All of our friends are out skiing on a powder day, and me and Colton are in the driveway shoveling 2 feet of snow. Yeah. Like, someone please help. Come on. We want to go skiing.
Yeah, we would literally wake up, have breakfast, go out, shovel depending on the storm, we were out there for like at least 6 hours, like average.
Yeah, because you like we have a big driveway, you have a big yard, so you shovel out the yard, and then you start working on the driveway, and then your shirt's off, and you're shoveling, and like it's a sunny like bluebird day when you should be skiing. But
now is that a tribute? Like, do you think you guys had to do that, and like your friends didn't because of just your parents wanted to show you like good work ethic, or is it like more so like on the line that like your parents were strict, you think?
It was more circumstances, I think. And like when me and Colton, like our dad didn't live with us anymore, and then we're gonna like watch our mom shovel, right? Yeah. But both, like it was a thing. Like you do your chores, and go get firewood. That was a daily task for me and Colton, or like our grandma would always make us rake the yard and carry leaves across the yard and dump them somewhere else, or they're always helping out. We had a lot of land, so it was just like, not a lot, but like stuff to do. So
we had a lot of land compared to people. Oh my
yeah,
gosh,
it's like 7. I think it's 7 acres that we still manage too. So.
Well, I was gonna ask earlier, or even like just in general, if like you guys got along when you were little, because I'm gonna attribute this a lot to me and my brother's relationship, because we have a good relationship, me and my brother, but at the same time, like we kind of have different lives. He was first child and had a lot of expectations put on him. I didn't really, was middle child, and like I was kind of flew under the radar a little bit. For the worse or the better, that's just how I was raised, I guess. Mm-hmm. I mean, I had to really like pinpoint it. So we get along now fantastically, but we did butt heads a lot when we were little. Yeah. It's because we grew up differently, and it is what it is. Because you guys had the circumstances that you guys did, as far as like, I don't want, like what you just said about, you're not going to watch your mom pile the dryer, like snow plow or get the snow out of the driveway. You guys got to do it yourselves. So do you think that kind of connected you guys more so than like if you're like your dad was around, or like you didn't have to do those kind of things?
Oh yeah, I feel a lot of emotion when you're talking about that too, because I think a lot of our relationship was built off like that survival instinct. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, this is what today offers you. Yeah. Get the work done. You know, and yeah, I was the little lazier brother. You know, I had the little brother mentality. You know, I was still like younger as things were happening, while everybody else was kind of like in that middle age growing up, and you know, so I kind of was dealt that hand. And Cody was in it because he was in the middle, and then our sisters were older, so they kind of knew like some stuff that was happening and developing, and you know, so we all kind of got the 3-year difference thing going on. But me and Cody were like, I mean, we're the closest ones out of all of our siblings.
Yeah, it was kind of me and Cersei, which my next, the middle. So my sister Cersei and me are the middle.
Yeah, but like
I was kind of close to her, and then as she was kind of going off doing her thing, me and Colton grew closer too. Because like he was saying, he was like the little runt, and he just like didn't have to do much. And, but then like it grew fast. I mean, and then he was helping me out with everything.
Did you?
And my mom too.
Again, you don't have to like answer anything that I ask, but again, I have a lot of questions because me and Colton talk about you often. We just talk about family in general. Do you feel like you had a responsibility to, I don't want to say raise Colton, but like, did you ever get that like sense of responsibility to have like some kind of impact on your brother because your dad wasn't around or wasn't in the picture?
I don't know. I mean,
did you even think about it when you were a kid, you think?
I helped him out a lot, but it was just kind of like a part of the deal, you know. I never looked at it like as like being a dad or anything like that.
Yeah, he was just a good big brother. Like he was there. He was like he was there. He like ate my leftovers when I didn't want to eat them.
Did his homework.
He did my homework all the time, like especially math homework. Like he just did it, you know. I know he's just there for backup and moral support. We never really talked deep until later on in life. Like, you know, our biggest like deep conversations was me sticking notes in his pocket sometimes, like going somewhere. Like,
oh really?
Yeah,
interesting.
He'd
like,
go through my stuff. And
yeah, it was totally like I was going through everybody's
He was looking
stuff.
out for me probably more than I was looking out for him.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's definitely how our relationship like bloomed. It was always me like wanting to take care of everybody and like checking up on everybody, and especially like my brother, like going into high school, you know, because I'll just say like Cody went through like he was a great person, but he like got in just like a, you know, that scene a little bit, and was just kind of,
I partied hard.
Yeah, I partied hard, and I saw that, and I didn't want him to like end up like our dad, so I was like really like broken about it. But I was like, I still wanted him to like, you know, have fun and do all these things. So I would find some stuff in our room. I would always like go throughout our whole house. Yeah, I'll go throughout the whole house, find everything from brother and sister, and like put notes in pockets. Like, don't do this. Like you're much better than this. Like,
oh dang.
You know, so like things like that. Yeah. And then, you know, once we got older, you know, we started like bonding over things and hanging out, and our friends group started hanging out more, and wherever Cody went, like after high school, when he went up to Humboldt State, I always made it sure to like visit him every year.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Alaska.
Yeah, everywhere he's lived, I've made sure to like go and just like be there.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know, there's more value in my relationship with my brother than I can say anything in my life outside of my wife and my kids now. So
I agree.
So, I mean, that's just how it is. And to go back how our relationship was when we were kids, it was like, it was just solid. You know, we never, I can remember him getting mad at me once, like one time, because I kicked him in the nuts, and he just got pissed off and choked me out and said, "Don't ever kick a man in the balls." Oh yeah, that's all he said.
He's like, "I want to teach you a lesson." And he's like, he just didn't get mad. He was like, "You don't do that." Like,
choke me on the kitchen.
One time I almost beat him up, but I held back and I just punched his legs till he was just like couldn't even walk anymore. He threw a stick at me and hit me right in the head, like behind me. I'm like, no way. And I just chased after him, runs in the house, and I just start punching his legs. I couldn't punch him in the face, man. I was too nice. Like, I don't know. Something about fighting I wasn't good at, but I was just like.
Yeah, punch his legs out.
That's a good move, actually. Yeah. Just Charlie horse the leg for hours.
He could not walk. I remember that.
Yeah. Well, what did you think about, like, do you remember those notes that you used to get, like, in your pocket or, like, when you took trips or anything?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because I always thought I was slick. I'd be like, I'll hide my weed and my pipe and my jacket, and I'll hang my jacket up. No one will ever look there. And, of course, I, like, go put my jacket on or go reach in. Like, dang it, dude, it's gone. And then, like, Colton, why you go through my stuff, you know?
Dang, you're like the Riddler, like, leaving clues and notes and stuff.
And they'd be like, what stuff? I'm like, I'm going to get really to it.
What type of stuff you
Yeah, what was it?
Nothing,
dude. Just don't touch my stuff.
That's really funny. Did you, like, now, I don't know, do you appreciate that, like, he did that kind of stuff, like, now? Or, like, whereas in, like, you were kind of, like, angry or annoyed or perturbed back then?
It definitely put me in check, you know, like, instead of just getting all loose with it and being like, there's more like disrespect to the house, you know, like my mom's out working like 4 jobs or whatever, and I'm out partying, like so it always like humbled me a little bit and be like, stop being a dummy, you know, like even though I was out doing it, just like kind of reeled me in a little bit.
Yeah,
for sure.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I think a lot of me like doing that too was Cody was always like, he still is the brains of the family, like the guy's a genius. He low-key like so smart.
Oh yeah, I mean if you run 2 companies, you gotta be.
But not even that, like just educational, personal relationships, anything from books to hard work, like he can master it, you know. And even like during the party days, you know, he's still getting straight A's.
Oh yeah,
it's like someone that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of takes like superhuman to kind of do those types of things. So I think
I'll go party with my friends and then come home and do my homework.
I mean, that's college experience, right?
Yeah,
that's
what it's all about. School. Yeah,
high school too.
Yeah, a little bit, and of course college. I mean, that's college all the time.
But I always just saw like, dang, like this guy has potential to do whatever the heck he wants. As long as he puts his mind to it, like he'll be successful in it, type of way, because he has all the moral and skill to be there. So even as a kid, I saw that. I was like,
that's great.
If anybody's gonna like change our family like dynamic financially or anything, like we'll hold our values to hard work and being good people for sure, but like if anybody's gonna change like a financial or whatever, like Cody's got the brain for it, you know? So like push him to be the best that he can be,
right? That's
while
like
I was being, you know, little brother, just
no,
running around.
I get that.
Wanting to hang out with my friends. That's all I wanted to do.
My brother was like that. He was kind of like the brains of our family. He was like really well educated because my dad pushed him because he was first child. So like there was a lot of expectations on my brother, whereas and there was like not as much expectations with me. And I was like the partier. My brother wasn't. He like just stuck with his close friends and like he went out and like did stuff, but like most of it was like no, he had to be he was first child, so he had the burden, if you want to call it burden, of setting expectations for his brothers and sisters. So I was like, I had like no desire to be well educated or like academic or anything. I just wanted to go out and like have fun.
Yeah.
Whereas I think that's where like me and my brother butt heads, is because like, no, like my brother had all these expectations and he did good in school and he was like, no, you got to do it this way, but I didn't want to do it that way. So that was kind of the dynamic with my brother, but I get that. I think, I don't know, as an older sibling, did you ever sense that like you had that responsibility of like setting the standard for your siblings? Is that why like you were so book smart, or you think it just came naturally to you?
I wouldn't say it was like setting the standard for like even Colton. Like I always pushed him, you know, like whether it was in sports or I tried to get him. He hated school, so it was like there's no way he's gonna follow my footsteps. Like not that he didn't have the brains, like he just didn't want to do it, you know.
Yeah.
No, but like I don't know. I think setting a good example. I don't know. I never like. I just did the work. Like it was really just like. I think that's where even like my own businesses and stuff, my standards, all that is just like it's internal. You know, it's like it's like I'm not a perfectionist at all. Like my room's a mess, but like it's like you just want things done at a certain level, and no one else can do that except you, and that's I don't know. I think that's why I've always ended up like working for myself and like getting through school. Like I remember like I never missed a day of school. You know, it was just like it was a thing in our family. Like you don't miss school, and then like it gets to a point where you're like, yeah, I ain't missing school. And like that's what I do. Hey, into college, there's no. My mom wasn't like watching me go to class, but I still internally I'm like, I don't miss school.
Yeah, you told me that the other day that you guys didn't miss school. And you had to miss a class or miss a day or something because of something.
I had to go until 5th grade, and then I got suspended.
That's what it was.
I ended up in the hospital for a week after that. It was really weird, but
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but I still like had that standard going through high school and college, like to show up.
Yeah.
Show up and do the
but
work.
I think
and goes do like a job too. I mean, you just like you show up on time and like like you do the best you can, you know.
Yeah. I mean that's rule number one of like just being successful in general is just showing up. That's like the easiest thing to do, and that's just a lot of people even struggle with just showing up and doing it, like being present. That's like number one. Yeah,
and some people, you know, they're like, oh, they did good for a month, and then they're like, oh, and then something happens, and then they make an excuse, or like, and then now it's all, I remember I was doing like job interview, I'm like, the difference between me and that guy is like, I am consistently consistent. Like I will show up every day and be the same guy. Maybe my attitude's a little different here and there, but that's everybody. But I'm going to show up and I'm going to do the job.
And do it well.
And I'm not here to push that guy out of the way or compete. I'm just like, I'm going to do it because that's what you do.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the standard.
Yeah.
For sure.
Dang. Made me think about like my own life. Like, okay, what did I not show up for? And like, what did I do?
I think there's a standard. So you have your like two types of entrepreneurship. So you have your entrepreneurs that force it, right? They're trying to do a million things at a time. They're trying to make as much money as they can. They're trying to do 500 things and they never really master it. And they're not really the hard worker. They're, you know, they have to create business rather than business just creating themselves behind it. It's like, but then there's the other part of entrepreneurship where your efforts build business behind you. So that's like Cody is saying. That's what I see off of him. Like he doesn't have to force creating things to make it good or make a living off of it. It just kind of happens naturally by his efforts. Yeah. Because if an effort presents itself, he's going to do it well. He's going to master it. He's going to be the best one there. You know, and that's not a cocky thing. It's just naturally, like as we're talking about this from being kids and everything, and survival and just hard work and morals and just being good. You show up, you get it done, you do the best you can, and have all the skills, and it's just being well rounded. Like the gym, you know, it's like you had to invest and start a gym and figure that all out, but I mean, you know you were going to be successful. I even told them before they got the gym, you guys are going to be successful no matter what, because you guys are so good at life. You're so good at work. You're so good with people. Like, it's just the success is going to follow you, you know? So it's like...
Definitely.
just show up, get the work done. And in that sense, like if you're just that person, you're going to be successful. You don't have to create success.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to force it. And
you don't have to act.
Yeah. You don't have to
you don't have to like kiss anyone's butt, you know, it's just like,
and a lot of people do, sadly, but.
Well, it's crazy too. Cause like, I feel like, I mean, a lot of people get through like that. They'll just like act their way through, but then, and I struggle with that a lot too. Like, I guess that's the ego, you know, like screaming, and then you see those people like maybe pass you up or like, what the heck's going on here, you know? And then, but eventually, you know, you just stick to it and do it, and then it's like, you'll come out.
Yeah.
Just be like, don't worry about that, because something will happen, you know, that needs to happen or whatever.
Do you feel successful?
I go in waves. I'm pretty hard on myself for sure. But you know, like I'll be in the gym sometime, no one will be in there. I'll be rocking out, and I'm like, holy crap, man, this is like kind of unreal. You know, like I own this place. You know,
that's cool. Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Or like, just with tree work, like I'm very small. Like like driving my truck around, no one would even know that what I do. I don't advertise. I don't like have a big old. I don't do anything. It's just
Well, I think it's cool too, because if you think about it, I just had a thought. Like you're a gym owner. You're the strongest one there. You're the most.
They're strong dudes.
I mean,
some really strong guys in the gym.
Okay, I'm not talking about like putting up weight. I'm talking about you will work out anybody there.
All right.
I know that. Like I know that for sure, and well-rounded too. Like you could take off on a bike ride and whoop anybody. You could go do a workout after. You could do a CrossFit workout. You could do a strength workout, and well-rounded, you're the strongest one, and you own the gym, right? Where if you look at a bunch of gyms around here, tons of gym owners, they're not even like, a lot of them aren't even fit. They're just like got big arms and like they got the belly and stuff, but it's like, it just kind of proves like you live it, it's gonna be successful. Right. So I mean, he's there, only one in his gym a lot of the times early in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, that's legit. That does say a lot. You know, so.
Do you have employees, like a lot of employees at the gym?
No, it's just me and my wife.
Is it a big gym? I'm assuming not.
It's pretty small. It's like 1,200 square feet, 1,500 square feet. It's pretty small.
But they got everything. Like, and it's really well built. It's like the size of this place. One suite. Yeah.
Maybe
a little bigger, maybe, than one suite.
Yeah. Do you ever have the passion to expand it?
Yeah, and right now, I wish we could right now. Like, we're getting to the point where it's just like, because you get like 10, 12 people in there, and you're like, I want to go over there, but there's someone there, you know?
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
So it gets busy, and like, I don't know, but where we're at in our town, it's just, there's not a big place. There's no building.
Right.
You have to build it, pretty much.
That was a gym before you bought it, right?
Yeah. It's interesting too, because it's a lot of the equipment and stuff in there is from when I used to go in with my dad when I was a kid.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, so we bought all that, and then, well, most of it was like kind of pieced together, and like it went through a couple different owners and stuff like that, and then now we got it. It was always called the Power Source. When we were kids, it was the Power Source. It was like the only place, and then we took it over and rebranded, renamed it, and just made it a little more. I'm slowly, like, the money we make, we just put it back into the gym.
Yeah.
And try to upgrade everything, because it's all from the 80s, 90s. Like, I just redid the dumbbells, and the dumbbells were just like old steel, and they're all bent, you know.
Yeah.
People just launching them. So.
Do you have, like, when you were opening the gym, did you ever like feel like, I mean, did you always know that you wanted to open a gym?
No, not at all. I barely went to the gym. But before I was a hotshot, I worked out when I was a kid off and on and all this stuff, but then fitness never really became a part of my life until it like became part of my job kind of thing.
Really?
Well, I wouldn't say that, because I climbed a lot. I was always trying to be active. I rode my bike, but I wasn't like lifting weights and doing everything. And then really what kind of pushed it over the edge was having a kid, because like I stopped climbing all the time. Like riding my bike, all the like things that you have, like, oh, midday, I'm gonna go on a bike ride, or like, let's go climbing all day. It's like,
can't do that stuff
no more, dude. It's like I need to get exercise in, like not only for my job, but I also have only a certain amount of time. So I had a home gym at my house because I didn't like that gym. It got so bad, the lady that owned it, so I stopped going there, bought my own stuff, and then I'll just work out early in the morning in our shop at home. And then I saw the place going downhill, and we're just like, we talked about it, and it got to a point where it's like, it's either like stop talking about it or do it. And we just pulled the trigger. Everything lined up, and we just did it. Took out, like, borrowed some money and sent it.
Did you have any problems? Do you have like any problems with like accommodating the people that want to like join the gym, or is that like not really an issue right now?
You mean like for space and like capacity?
Yeah.
No, not right now. But I can see if things are going the way they're going, it's gonna be a problem for sure.
Are they? Is your gym open right now?
Yeah.
What are the hours for your gym?
24 hours.
Really? Is it really?
24/7.
Dang. Who runs? Did you see your wife like run it if you're not there, or do you go and then like where you're
unstaffed?
Oh, so people just go.
Yeah.
Oh wow, crazy.
You get it. You sign up online and get your code and go into the gym.
Do you get problems with like people just like not signing up, but they just go anyways?
Yeah, like people, you usually come in with people, and then we gotta like call them up, like, hey, dude, I see you're in the gym with 3 buddies.
Oh, you got cameras?
Yeah.
Duh.
And they'll be like,
that makes
you
sense.
can see them on the camera, like, oh, get out. We're paying right now.
Yeah.
You better, dude.
They run out here.
Yeah.
But it's such a small town, and like, I don't know, I me and Aaron both, we really like to give people our trust.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and hopefully it comes back. And we got a lot of good local people that keep an eye out for us. And like, I don't know, I really like that, like, feeling personally, like when someone gives you their trust, you know, and you're like, oh, I have some responsibility now, you know, like,
that's a good point.
It's what this world's lacking. Everyone's like, it's weird, like on tree jobs too now. It's like, everywhere I go, like, go pee behind the tree, and you're like, oh crap, a camera. You know, like, there's cameras everywhere, dude. No one trusts anybody, dude. Like, it's kind of a bummer, you know. Like, we're losing that community thing, and what we wanted to do is create a community with it. Yeah. And even though we're not doing a lot of stuff we originally thought we were gonna do, like, we're still like building a community. You know what I mean?
Even in a small town, awesome. It's going away, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean,
because like at my neighborhood, there's cameras everywhere. Like, I have a camera in my front door and the doorbell. I have 3 cameras around my house, and I know there's community cameras. And like, there's a Facebook group that we have, and like, this person's loitering. Go look out for this person, and like, we see his face clearly. And like, it's crazy, like what people are doing to their house as far as like camera and security go nowadays. But there's no trust. But again, for good reason. When you have kids and like their safety's in jeopardy. You gotta have that kind of stuff. But no, I agree with you. Like, the trust part, even like not even for security purpose, just like what you were saying about like you want to give that person that sense of like, oh, this guy's doing me a solid by just trusting in me to like pay my membership and go in there by myself and not take advantage. Guilt will get to these people. Hopefully, if you're like a good person, you'll feel guilt if you do something that you're not supposed to. Yeah.
Unless you're a kid, then you kind of don't have that.
I mean, we have a fridge with energy drinks in it too. People could just.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got a lot of trust.
It's different. Its issues.
Yeah.
It's small, dude. It's a small town. It's not like having it down here.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be mass chaos.
Dude.
Yeah,
you'd be on watching the cameras all the time. And hitting people up all the time. Like,
you can't go unstaffed. Yeah. Unless you have like a lockdown building that's small. I don't know, but.
Speaking of small town, Colton always mentions that like, if I'm gonna retire somewhere, if I could go live somewhere, it'd be back home or be back in the mountains. I think that's like your dream. You said like just to take your family and go live there again.
That'd be great.
If you could.
Yeah.
You obviously like your hometown. You stayed there. You stuck around. You went to college. You went back. You started 2 businesses. Have you ever wanted to branch out and like not live in your hometown?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Probably the only thing that sticks me there is my family and my family's property.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Yeah. Even though I do dig it. I mean, like I love the mountains. I love that we have a ski resort 5-7 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like those are very important aspects of a place that I want to live.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the mountains are a little small and the community's a little different than what I met. It's really cool. Like my wife's family lives in Tahoe, Truckee, Reno area.
Mm-hmm.
So you go up there and there's just very high level people everywhere. You know, you go into the gym or whatever and you're like, oh, he's a pro athlete.
Oh,
like,
wow.
You're not going to see that in our town.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you just, it pushes you, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The mountains are bigger and I don't know, but we think about it all the time, but like I just, it's so nice. Like I live right next door to my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I can help her out. She can help us out.
Yeah.
And that whole thing, like creating that community,
Mm-hmm.
having that, like, I don't know. I really dig like help, you know, like that's what, like a tribe almost, you know what I mean? I think it's very important to have.
Does that sense of like tribe kind of keep you there? Like, does it?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I've moved away from my hometown and I regretted it immediately because like there's no place like home, and that's very true.
Yeah.
Coming from somebody that moved to the Midwest and just got completely homesick.
Mm-hmm.
Like and I don't know if it's attributed to like just you growing up and you're used to a certain lifestyle or you're used to certain cultures or whatnot, but like I needed to get back.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate the experience that I had because it made me appreciate home way more than I ever did before I moved away. Yeah. Because you moved to college and you went to Humboldt and then you moved back. Did that help at all when you went to college and like came back to your hometown and like, oh yeah, I really do enjoy it here?
Well, I kind of already knew, like, I remember when I first met my wife, I was like, hey, like, I knew I was going to marry this girl, you know, but I was like, I told her one time, I was like, hey, like, I have a pretty, like, I feel obligated, not obligated, but I also love where I'm from and I'm going to go back there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just knew I was going to go back there because I want to help with the property and my mom and be with my family.
Yeah.
Like, if you got to be okay with that. If not, like, we're gonna have to figure something out.
That's,
you know?
Yeah, that's big of you. I mean,
like I would have moved. Like, it's hard, you know, but like I probably would have came back, you know, just regardless. And
yeah, and they've had a pretty good journey to get back to the mountains too, because they graduated college, they stayed there for a little bit, then you guys went to Tahoe. You lived there for a little bit.
Tahoe for a winter, and
then Alaska,
then
then back to the mountains for the first time. So
that
was
we traveled. Yeah.
All right, you made your rounds. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually remember you mentioned Alaska. What part of Alaska did you live in?
We're in a place called Talkeetna,
which is
it's like 3 hours north of Anchorage. It's inland. Like a lot of people that climb Denali, big mountain up there.
Yeah,
that's where everyone flies out of. Is this small town.
Do you miss it at all?
Yeah, Alaska was sweet.
I bet.
I would have. Yeah, I think about it a lot. Yeah, it's just. You know, everyone's got like a snowmobile, a plane, a boat.
Yeah.
You know, and they all like live this, you know, it's just rugged. You know, like you're eating fresh elk or moose or like, I don't know. It's
salmon.
Salmon. Dude, I ate so much salmon. It was crazy. You eat it every meal.
Yeah, their life was pretty crazy. They were living out like a tiny little shed in the back of someone's home.
Oh, wow.
Cody was working for, what was it, dog sledding, like tour guides. So they owned he was taking care of all like the sled dogs. And then he was also getting into the fishing, tour guiding stuff going on. And then Erin was working at the bar and getting her pilot's license. So like they were just
Erin was the one that got she was working at a bar at college, and these people were like, you want to come bartend for us in Alaska?
Oh, so that's
and
what
she told me, and the way she presented it to me, she was like, not going. You know, I was like, It's like, you told him yes, right? Like, we're going to Alaska. And she's like, really?
Yeah.
I was like, heck yeah. Why wouldn't we not go to Alaska? You know, like.
Did you just want to go for like the experience, or did you just always wanted to go live in Alaska?
I just, the experience, like, just travel and like have, like, that's kind of why I went to Humboldt too. It's like, okay, there's the farthest place I could get away from home that was like paid for schooling or whatever. Like, it was the cheapest schooling. And I was like, yeah, I'm going.
Yeah.
And then saying that was Alaska. We got a reason to go. We got a job. Let's go. Figure it out. And I've just always dug that. Like, I love seeing new places. And,
Yeah.
You know, if you can get it paid for, whether it's a job or someone's helping you out, then go for it.
Very true. My wife's friend, like one of her best friends, she lives, she doesn't live there anymore. She lives in Washington, but she did have like a cabin in like the border of Idaho and Wyoming, and she ran her own business of a dog sledding business, Idaho dog sledding or something.
Still there, right? Like, still doing.
She's probably was she close to Jackson or?
Yeah, Jackson Hole.
Yeah.
Or Jackson, one of those.
Jackson Hole, same.
Yeah, and she ran that company, and I think her boyfriend, she left it to her boyfriend because they broke up. She moved away, but they had a bunch of Malamutes, fed them like this big old beagle meats like they got from like the butcher, and like they just kept them outside, and they were just dogs, and like it was a crazy lifestyle that they lived. So did they have Malamutes? Did you like take care of the Malamutes or like the Huskies
they're
or anything?
Alaskan Huskies, so they're like a German Shorthair Pointer mixed with a Husky.
Okay.
They're just like the guy ran that Iditarod all the time.
Yeah.
I don't remember, like it was like 8 years I think in a row. But they had 60 dogs.
Wow, 60?
Yeah, and they're all on their own chain in a doghouse.
Yeah.
And they're just nuts.
Yeah.
They're nuts.
But they're real behave when it comes time to. Never?
Only when they're running.
Yeah,
that's the only time they behave.
Really?
Otherwise, they're complete chaos.
Dang.
Yeah.
They're just whipping around on their chain, like running around, and then you gotta like get them onto the actual toe on the rope. So then you're carrying them like by their collar, and they're just hopping on their back feet. And that's the only way to control them. You get them on all fours, they're gonna just drag you. So you're like carrying them. Get them in their harness, line up 12 dogs, and then go for a run.
Whoa.
And we were doing 3 tours a day. So we'd have to do that 3 times a day. I didn't want to work in the dog yard. I was like, I'm good.
Really?
Yeah, I was driving their tour van, and then I was like just helping with chores.
Oh, crazy.
It's like, I don't want to do the dogs, dude. It's just because most of the time you're cleaning up poop.
It's wet. It's really wet and rainy.
Dude, raining. Yeah, it was just gnarly. But then I definitely, like, after it, I was like, man, that was really cool. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I mean, you get to know every dog's name. You know all their like personalities. You know, like
that's cool.
You know which one does which, where it goes, and I think I just really love dogs too. So it was like it was pretty cool to do that.
Would you go visit Alaska when he was there?
Yeah, I went up there for a week, 7 days, I think. Just slept on the floor and checked out their workplaces. We took a few trips around, and it was, gorgeous. Like everywhere you look, it's just like a postcard.
Yeah, I bet.
You know, so that was really cool. Mosquitoes are crazy, but
yeah, there's nuts.
Yeah, it was different for sure. It didn't get dark out. I think when I was there, it got dark maybe in 2 hours, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And it was from like 3 to 4 or something like that.
Did that mess with you, like your head or brain at all?
It was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I'd be outside just doing stuff after work, and then you look at the clock, and it's 11 o'clock at night.
It's just daytime.
And I was still drinking too. Like then, I don't drink anymore, but I was, like Aaron worked at a bar. There's a couple good breweries in town.
Yeah. And
dude, you get out of the bar, it's like 2 a.m, but you feel like, dude, this is so weird.
Like in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I would love to live that kind of lifestyle. I've always talked about it with Lindsay, especially when she went to go visit her friend. She's like, that's what I want to do. I want to like go just be secluded somewhere and just like have a bunch of dogs. I won't even have to raise them to be sled dogs. I just want a bunch of dogs in like their little like chained area or their gated area and just let them be. Yeah. So that was a beautiful life, but I don't know, maybe one day. Do you ever like, did you have like a favorite dog when you were there or no? Or did you even like have a favorite activity if it wasn't dog sledding?
I'm not going to remember their names, but Oh, activity up there?
Yeah, like what did you like to run if not the dog sledding?
I started doing the guided fishing thing a little bit. Yeah. So I really like fishing, and we were still climbing quite a bit. So we'd go and just explore and climb, and yeah, we do all sorts of stuff. Just
did you fish? Out there. Did you fish or climb when you were there?
We fished, but not climbed. Yeah, climbing was pretty hard to get to.
Yeah, like, it was like make a day or two out of it.
I remember one time we found this crag, and it was just like way out in the mountains, and it's like, yeah, it has bolts on it or whatever, and I'm like leading this thing. I'm like, there are no bolts. I'm like, I'm like climbing, like I ended up free climbing this thing, and it was probably one of the scariest things I've ever done. And you're way out, like if I would have fallen,
dead. Yeah. Leave it there. So nobody find you.
Yeah, I can never do that. I don't know if I have the stones to do anything like that. I've seen videos of it though. Like I've seen that one popular documentary or whatever, but. Yeah, I couldn't do something like that. Yeah. Maybe if I could, if I was like went with you two, like I felt like safe.
Yeah,
but
we gotta get you out there, dude.
Yeah, you gotta take it surfing. So
that's true. You ever surf?
Yeah, I've tried a couple times.
Oh, really?
I got a couple buddies from Huntington, and they took me once, and they're like, "Yeah, you don't need a leash, bro. Leashes for kooks." Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, I got this. No. Chasing my board every freaking time. I'm like, thanks, guys.
I use a leash, dude. I don't care. I don't care, dude. I like my board. I like my stuff. Yeah. I got to get back to that. I'm like you said though, like when you're a dad or you're a family man, you lose time doing a lot of things. That's why me and Colton and I, he knows this about me, but like I'm kind of on this journey to get like back into like a healthy lifestyle, like get my workout regime back and take some time for myself. Unselfishly.
Let's jump into that. Let's jump into health and wellness. That's actually why we have you here.
Right. So. Yeah. Let's get into that. So like last episode, we were talking about like this thing called, it's a very gimmicky thing, and I really kind of wanted your opinion on it, but it's called Winter Arc. Have you ever heard of that? No. Winter Arc. So the premise of it is like October is used for you to get back into like a healthy lifestyle, whether it's like physically healthy or mentally healthy, meaning like you also got to work on like your mentals as far as being in a good place, like loving yourself, just like not worrying about the outside things, really working on you. And then with that is also like your physicality, setting like goals for yourself and all that.
Yeah.
So like I haven't heard of it until like now, but it's a very like, it's a thing people do. Like he's attributed it to like New Year's Eve resolutions, right?
Okay.
A resolution. So it kind of is like that, but it's in October. But my main focus of it, I think right now is not the like physical part of it, because I've been going to the gym and I'm trying to be better at it, but like it's the mental part of it, because I've been, I don't know, on the fritz, I guess you could say. Do you find yourself like valuing like that kind of factor when it comes to like taking care of your body, but also taking care of your like mental state? Do you do anything that helps you with both of those things?
I think it's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you can't take care of your mental state without taking care of your physical, and almost, for me, it's almost more physical helps me with my mental.
Yep.
I was just talking, I tell Colton all the time, try to get this guy to go. He's like, he'll get all gnarly, and like I'm like, you just need to go to the gym, bro. You are a physical specimen. Your body wants to work. And dude, like you get so many, you killing flock of birds with one stone going to the gym. I mean, you're just like,
true.
If you want to listen to a podcast, if you like eat, or just listen to nothing or whatever, or just socialize. Like a lot of people go to the gym just socialize, and they get a pump, you know, like I feel like just, it doesn't even have to be the gym, dude. Just like get a workout in, be push-ups, whatever. I mean, but like, I don't know if the like, I'm not the most confident person. I've gotten a lot more confident because I've worked on that. But it helps. Like I used to walk in gyms and feel all awkward. Now I can just go in because I know what I'm doing. I'm there. I'm like there with a plan, and you know, and whether it's looking good or just feeling good, like feeling strong is great. But like, yes, I mean, who doesn't like to like look in the mirror and be like, dang, I look pretty good.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like that's gonna boost your confidence up big time. And especially when people are like, what do you do? Like, what's like, you look great, or like just those little compliments can add to your day, you know.
For sure.
So I think going to the gym or just working out and being physical is like almost number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do that if you don't have a good diet either. So
that's true.
That's coming into it too. I think mental falls in almost automatic after those two.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and talk about, I want you to tell everybody like what your standards are for eating.
Yes.
What you're putting into your body.
Yeah.
I actually used to be a lot more strict before I started measuring everything. I've all, like I said earlier, I think too, was just like getting into coffee. It was like finding the good ingredients, and like like I'm all about it. Like processed food, I just don't do it. Like like my coach right now, he's like, "Oh, get a bowl of cereal." It was the hardest thing for me to buy a box of cereal and eat it. I'm like, God, this goes against everything I'm about, dude. Really? I hate processed food.
Yeah. And it wasn't like horrible cereal. It wasn't like,
No,
like
I'll get
Cocoa
like
Puffs,
organic, like whatever. It's like rice cereal. It's like, it's fine, you know, but it's just like, it's hard for me to buy. But I'll buy like a protein bar every now and then or whatever. But yeah, whole food diet, I think, is key. I don't, macros or whatever, that comes down. But if you can't dial in just eating whole foods and actually cooking too, like just learn how to cook, like stir up some ground beef and put in some tomato sauce. Like people don't know how to do that, or like turn on your oven and bake something.
Yep.
You know, whether it's a vegetable or a potato, like just know how to do that. And like if you can learn like those basics, I mean, just eat that like 75% of the time. It's like it'll change your life.
What we grew up on, you know, just like easy, like whole food meal.
It's like constant, you know, like my mom was amazing. I still don't know like how she did it with us four, but she would,
no idea.
We'd wake up, me and Colton have these like eggs, or like we'd eat cereal if we had, but she'd most time have breakfast ready for us before school. We'd get out of school, she'd have like me and Colton eat these massive sandwiches or burritos,
turkey,
like,
tuna, something.
Always something. And then dinner, like we
all
ate
the time,
big time.
We never went out to eat. Like it was so rare.
Like she'd bring us like Chinese food. She'd be like, I had to go down the hill, I got you guys Chinese food. So it was like it was like a treat, dude. You're like, yes, you know? Or we bought it ourselves. Like, we go get a burrito from like the one restaurant. So we didn't go out to eat a lot. It was a very like growing up, going to In-N-Out, I did that for my birthday, you know. It's like I'm gonna go to In-N-Out, I'm gonna get a 4x4. That's like my birthday, you know. Most people are like, dude, I did that like 4 times.
That's my dinner the other day.
But then like I haven't eaten In-N-Out in like 3 years, dude. So it's like,
oh dang, when's your birthday?
I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm gonna take my daughter and take her. I should do that.
Yeah, go tonight, dude.
No, I grew up very lucky in that way too, because I don't know if you know this about me, but like my parents, they moved here when they just got married. My brother was born in Peru. I was born here, and my dad was a man of many talents and many jobs, and he didn't grow up wealthy. My mom did. My mom's dad, my grandpa, who's passed away, he was like a very successful dentist and professor at like one of the top ranked universities. And so he was like very well known and renowned, and so that's how my mom grew up. But my mom always like hung out with like the less fortunate kids, which was my dad. And my dad was kind of like, my dad's parents were together, my grandpa and my grandma, but like they were always working hard, and him and his siblings were always working hard. So he kind of had odd jobs, and one of them was like, he used to prep meat. He used to kind of like be a butcher, but not really, because in Peru there's like not really a butchery. You just like grab a chicken and cut its head off and like deflect it and like sell it like right then and there. And like, it's like that's kind of like the stuff that he did.
Nice.
So, my grandma on my mom's side kind of grew up that way too before she met my grandpa. But like my dad and my grandma and my mom took on like a lot of these attributes, always cooked at home. Like when we were little, we always had Peruvian dishes ready, and it was like they always try to find fresh meats or like good rice or good potatoes, because they were like big potato people. And I always grew up like having good breakfast. When I got home, my grandma always made sure there was a big plate of like Peruvian like stew or anything like Peruvian dish. And so I grew up that way too. Very lucky. Then like it was always a treat for us to go to like McDonald's or something. Like we didn't do that for our birthdays, but like it was like far few and in between that we did that kind of stuff. So I was like very lucky when it comes to that too, which is why like I think my health, that I attribute that to like my good health now, is because I didn't grow up eating like all that processed stuff where I see like kids nowadays, that's all they eat. And it's like always ice cream in the house. There's always like, they always go out to eat. So I feel fortunate in that way that I also kind of grew up that way, but like kind of differently.
That's huge. I mean, just having the stuff in the house is like another like key thing, I think. Is just like, if it's there, even me, if I have a craving, all of a sudden, it's like, if it's there, I'm probably going to eat it.
Yeah.
I can resist for so long, but then all of a sudden it'll be like, oh, okay, I'm eating and saying, there we go. So like, just buying, like having your standards that you would buy. Like, if we only have this in the house, like don't give the kid the choice to eat like a pack of Oreos. It's just like, or whatever. It's just like, it's not good for their, I mean, when me and Colton were kids, we go to our friends' houses and like, their mom goes to Costco. It's we're eating cinnamon toast crunch, bowl for bowl, mac and cheese like in the microwave at the same time.
Yeah, it was like, what's going on, man? Let's go. Doors open.
Yeah. Dude, no. So that was we didn't have that at our house, so it was just like, I mean, I think that's very important to like, like this is a treat, and it's like, or like maybe you shouldn't even have it at all,
Right.
So
we do indulge. Sure. We indulge every now and then if we go to like a coffee shop, like we'll get like a panini or something.
For sure. Or like a cookie. I love buying a cookie. Like I mean, that's
like a good cookie.
Oh my gosh. Like you said, coffee shops. Like when we travel, like I'll look for coffee shops, but like
get hungry.
Sometimes it's like a cook. Like where can we find the best cookie? Like so it'd be like a bakery, and most times bakeries they have like a decent coffee. So.
Yeah, we used to have this thing when we would climb. I think you and Aaron started doing it. Was if you like sent to climb for the first time, or you had a day of climbing, you were successful, you go find a cookie and treat yourself. Yeah, a good cookie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that was cool.
Yeah.
But I just want to like hit on Cody's like standards real quick. He doesn't cheat. Like cheating's not in the life. Like it's not nothing to do with a diet. Like there's not a diet. You could take out the word diet in your life.
That's what I've always tried to preach to people. It's like, don't go on a diet. Like change your lifestyle. Like I think that's so big. It's just like a lot of people are like, oh, what? Like, you could ask me what my diet is, but I'm not going to be like, I'm on a keto diet. Or I'm not on a diet. This is my diet. This is my life. You know? And I like, and I don't believe in cheating either. It's not like, okay, cheat day, here we go. I'm gonna eat all this. It's like it happens, you go to a friend's house or a birthday party, and it's like, I'll even plan out like, okay, I'm probably gonna eat this later. Let's just eat, hit it all on the money or eat a little less so it like makes up for it later. But I mean, I've gone through years of time where it's just like, I don't touch any of that, like I'll just, and I can be, and the more you do it, the stronger you get. I mean, it's just like, like you'll even eat something that like you used to think like, oh yeah, cheat meal, I'm gonna eat it. But then you eat it, you're like, I feel like complete garbage and I'm never eating that again. Yeah.
No, I know what you mean. I don't try to follow in the fads of like diets. I mean, we've gone through so many of them. I feel like the more that social media or just like anything that like has increased in popularity, I feel like fads and diets have also increased. Like
it's just constant.
The whole marketing thing anyway.
Keto and other crap. Like I hate those things because like just live the lifestyle that you want, but make sure it's like a healthy one, and that's all you got to do. When you say you tell people, like, do you tell people that like you work out with, or like when, like, because you mentioned you have a coach. Are you a coach like anybody else? Like, does anybody come to you for that kind of stuff?
No, I'll give advice to people if they ask.
Yeah,
but I also don't like preaching to people that they, like I don't get on people like, what are you eating? No, that sucks for you,
Yeah.
But like if they ask me, I'm like, oh, this is what I'm doing. It works really good.
Yeah.
Or if they want like, well, how much should I eat of this, or what should I eat of that, or
Mm-hmm.
like it's pretty cool. Like I've gotten really good at like making up things that are like ice cream and like all that stuff. Like I can make stuff that is pretty dang close. You know what I mean? And it's all just whole food ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the beauty of it, I think.
Where do you go shopping, like for like your food? Like where do you go? Do you guys have like local butchers, or do you guys have like local?
No, for meat,
markets?
we mainly shop at like grocery outlet or Sprouts, or then we have some like meat markets, Mexican markets that we go to that are pretty cheap and really good, and then farmers markets are huge for us.
Yeah.
So I really love going to farmers markets. That's just to support local, but that's mainly like produce and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll get meat there. Recently we've been getting into more like hunting the last like 3 or 4 years. So try to get like meat that way, or that's really hard to get a lot unless you start spending a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Since we had a kid, like last year, I didn't get out hunting that much. So,
dang, do you ever go to any like farmers markets in town or anything?
No, not really. But it's kind of
the one in Temecula is sick.
Yeah, the one in Temecula is really cool. Old
dude.
Town on Saturdays. They're really legit. They got a lot of good stuff.
I mean, the produce is unreal out here.
Yeah,
sure.
It's some of the best you could probably find. It's really good. But no, we don't go. I mean, I just went last weekend, which is funny that you mentioned.
Oh, really?
What you should do is get a coffee booth set up there, and
dude, there's so many coffee booths out there already.
It's only one.
Start making trades, dude.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, be like, hey, I got 5 pounds of coffee. You guys want to trade for like a basket of vegetables?
Yeah.
They're
seriously.
always down, dude.
Yeah.
I guess that's good. I mean,
That's the best
trading.
part. Like my wife used to do farmers markets, like a couple different things, but at the end, like she'd be like, "Oh, I have like this," and then she'd like trade them, and we'd get so much vegetables.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And fruit and whatever.
Yeah, I wonder if they do some stuff like that. When you were at the farmers market, did you see like any like coffee people there? Or, like?
There's only one coffee place called Ambient. They're pretty good. But they're not like selling wholesale like coffee bag. They're not selling coffee beans. They're selling coffee. They're selling
making
drinks.
coffee.
So
Yeah.
it could happen. There's a market for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, going back to like the mental thing, I think you make a good point when like you say your mental state and your physicality state kind of intertwine with one another. Like if you're doing good on one, you should be doing good on the other. But like I kind of find it in a way where like I would imagine you as a gym owner, and people come up to you for advice, or I know you say you do kind of like don't take it upon yourself like to give pointers or like go up to people and like say, hey, you should be doing this or that. But I think there is value in finding those people and like asking like, oh, am I doing this right? Or people have to be proactive in asking like, hey, asking the right person if they're doing like if their form is correct, or what should you be doing if I want to grow this or that, or like how do I get my cardio up, blah blah blah. I also think there is like a value in finding like a therapist, which is I'm in the middle of, is trying to find a therapist.
Yeah.
Just for like advice and help, or like different perspective, kind of in a way where like I would ask somebody else that knows how to grow my chest better or whatever, right?
Totally.
Do you think that has like any merit to it, like as far as therapy goes for your mental state, or do you think it's just solely like you got to do it on your own, you got to kind of figure it out on your own, or just be your family around you?
No, I think you should get a coach in any aspect. Like if you're struggling, I mean, it's the easiest, fastest way to do it. I mean, and for someone to see you from the outside and like give you advice is just could be open so many doors. I mean, I don't have a therapist. I wouldn't mind one. Like I would love. So like when I was in college, I had a couple bad things happen, and I had to go to a psychiatrist, and that was like huge for me.
Yeah.
Sit there an hour a day, and he just asked me these questions, and I just like it just threw me in like a better trajectory. You know, I like. Because before it was just chaos in my head, you know. I was just like, yeah, that's why I'm acting out, and that's why I'm doing stuff. And it helped me like get some stuff out that I didn't even see, maybe, and like, because it's in there, and maybe you can figure it out yourself. But even like it's really just someone to talk to.
Yeah.
That like has a different, like,
there's no bias in there.
That guy wasn't going to be my friend,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
we're totally different people, but it was like almost him just asking questions, like questioning me about things.
Mm-hmm.
And then me saying stuff, even if I was like, if it was like right or not, you know, just getting it out. It's almost like a journal, you know, but like someone's guiding you. And I think that helps out a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to put it, actually.
So I wouldn't say, but I wouldn't say like doing it yourself is like, I think that's a huge misconception these days of like, even like working out, all these things, like, yeah, I did it by myself. This is all me, you know. It's like, cool, man. Like, could have done it better with a coach, probably. You know, like, or someone helping you out. Like, I think it's great. Like, my whole life's changed since I got like a guy helping me out with my nutrition and working out. I was very good at like working out by myself and everything, but once you got someone looking at your form or calling you out because you're ego lifting, or like, why am I my shoulder blown out? It's because you're freaking lifting stupid, you know? Like, like it puts you in check, you know? And it could be the same with your mental state or your nutrition, you know? Like, yeah, I eat clean, but then on the weekends I'm slamming ice cream and pizza. It's like, well, you're never gonna gain anything, you know? It's like someone just there to like check you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's very important. Or just help guide you a little bit. I mean, we all need that.
Yeah. That's, I think, a good kind of differentiating factor is like the guidance. You'll need guidance, whether, like you said, whatever you do, nutrition.
And it does, I don't think it has to be like a crazy, experience helps for sure. Like, yeah, get a very experienced person, but like, I don't know, like coaches have coaches, you know, it's just someone there to help, like, you see the stuff you're not seeing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I think there's 3 aspects that you can kind of ask yourself, like, I don't know, it's either like fear or pride that's holding you back from getting help, right?
Yeah.
It's, you could be just in a bad spot and you're not motivated and you think, what's the effort? You know, I'm not going to go ask someone for help. What's it going to change, you know? I'm already too deep in it.
Shoot, I get like that.
Yeah. Or there's some people that just think, I'm good, I know what I'm doing. You know, there's always some type of excuse, whatever. But no, I think it's huge. Like, if you can always grow in a certain area, you know, and you may not see it, but there's somebody that can help you make yourself better.
Yeah.
Or guide you in the right direction. Or, you know, you could outgrow, you know, your coach and have to move on and upgrade, you know, like there's levels, you know. So I would say if anybody said like those things are wrong, you know, and it's all self-made type, it's like, stay away from those people, you know, because they're so conceited in themselves and they've probably been spoon-fed their whole lives that it's going to take a lot of work for them to break down and realize their problems. They may not ever see them. So
yeah, great point.
Yeah.
Well, one last thing I wanted to ask, if I don't know if you have anything else, but there was one more thing that I kind of wanted to ask before, if we want to wrap up, but because I could talk all day with you, I think.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
I feel like we just hit the surface.
Yeah, for sure.
So I know Colton to be a very good, but he's a good skier, right?
Yeah, he's good.
All right.
Do you have that same passion for skiing? I mean, you lived in Utah, right? You lived in Utah? Tahoe.
I think I have a bigger passion for skiing than Colton, but he is a better skier than me.
Oh, really?
In some ways. Yeah.
He's a very good skier. Yeah, he's just all around athlete. He's got it.
Yeah.
I work very hard and get the fraction of stuff that he can, you know. But yeah, I mean, I would say before I had a kid, skiing and my wife were the most important things.
Yeah.
Yeah, family, of course, but like I worked so I could ski half the year. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
No, it was just like, and even, you know, I was talking, I was telling some guys, I was like, man, it's like, I would feel bad like going, like I want to go skiing, and sometimes it's like the only thing that clears my head. You know, it's like it's better than working out because you just get in this. It's probably like going surfing.
Oh yeah.
But once I had a kid, I was like I couldn't ski anymore without feeling like a selfish person. You know, like what am I doing out here? You know, and like I should be at home taking care of my kid and like doing all this. So it kind of took a little bit of a back burner because of that. But now that I would carry her in a backpack skiing. I would.
Oh, cool.
I've been very purposeful in like how I present skiing to her and like getting her out there. Like last winter, it was like I have to get her out at least once a week to go skiing and hoping that she takes to it. You know, like that's the dream. But yeah, I mean, regardless what she does when she's on her own, I'm gonna be a ski bum again probably. So.
Dang.
I mean, it's just like, I don't know. There's something about being in the mountains and like either riding the line or being out in a storm and going through a struggle and like it all, or like everything comes together, or you come out of it and everything is like, that really sucked.
Yeah.
But like you grow from all those things and like some of the best feeling, like, you have a kid, when that kid popped out, you know, you probably felt like you're just floating, you know, like you're like, it's insane. And you can ride like mountains and have like rides, at least in my experience, that like you can get close to that feeling.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
You get to the bottom of the mountain and you're like I feel it right now. I'm like shaking because I'm like
seeing it,
dude, like that was insane. You know, you're just like, I can't believe that I just did that. And I'm like like it's the silliest thing too. Like I think about it, I'm like, it means absolutely nothing to anybody else. I did nothing for this world by riding down that mountain. But I feel so amazing, and you know, and then you can go on and I don't know.
Yeah, chasing that high with like anything that you're passionate about, and I think it really revolves around like passion. Yeah. Because I don't have anything to do. I don't ski. I went snowboarding like maybe a handful of times, and I never was really a skier. And I could probably accidentally do something that you weren't as like that high, but I probably wouldn't feel it because I don't have passion behind it. But like if I get barreled and I get spit out of it and like I just found it to be like a perfect way, I know that feeling like holy crap, like this is what I surf for. Like I could eat it as many times as I need to, but when I finally get to this point and it's as easy as like just getting barreled for like 2 seconds and getting spat out, and like you feel that like feeling of like that was awesome. Like, just that 2 seconds was awesome. Like I get that feeling. I think that comes with passion, and people, I think that's also lost, is passion like for little stupid things like that, where it's important for, it's going back to like your mental state. You have to have some kind of like hobby or some kind of passion towards something to chase that feeling. Yeah. Because that feeling gets lost with a lot of people because life gets in the way. Yeah. Yeah. I always think that like I need to grasp onto that thing again, because that also is just like something so easy that you can do, and it could just make you feel like so euphoric again.
Well, it makes you just a better husband and a better dad.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Go home after and you're just like, now I can just focus like on my kid, on my wife. I can just I can be here with you, and I'm totally satisfied. You know what I mean? And I think that's why going to the gym is like I'm doing that. You know, I can be at peace when I'm at home. I'm not thinking about like, gosh, like I'm not feeling restless. I'm not feeling weak. I'm not feeling. I'm like, I'm good. You know?
Yeah. Dude, for sure. Like, I even feel that now. I'm 2 weeks in going back to my routine of the gym, and it's already like night and day of my mood, you know. And it's like my brother, my wife, they all see it. Like if I'm not in that routine, something's off. Yeah. Like something's so off. Or if I'm not, skiing, if I'm not, I get depressed, because I know it's there. Mm-hmm. And this is like all different feelings, from like I'm going golfing with the boys, or I'm going to the bar with the boy because I need my release. Some people do get it, but that's like kind of selfish. it can be selfish. Yeah, maybe golf is your thing and you need that release,
Yeah.
but it's not like the I'm doing this every weekend because, you know, I can't stand my home life. You know, it's not that mentality. It's doing those things, have it be golf or whatever, to get, you know, make yourself better. That way you feel fulfilled. Like if you get, you know, hobbies and gym routines and healthy eating and all those things down, like you're just flourishing in those areas, which I think is huge.
I mean, optimizing your life, that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, there's been a few people that died like around me lately, and it's just, it gets more and more like every time someone dies, I just want to push harder. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, I am not here for too long, and like and I, you know, like I got it. Like it's not okay. I'm gonna start on Monday. I'm gonna have a good weekend. You know, I'm gonna finish the couple whatever things I got at home, and then I'm gonna start on Monday. It's like I'm gonna start right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna go to Colton's house and I'm gonna eat a very good meal, and like not just like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, or like even with a workout, like sometimes like I'll you gotta push yourself too, and sometimes, you know, your works, but like push yourself to be like healthier and fitter, and you know, because that's just gonna like everyone around you, like we all have our small little circles, you know, it's just like that's gonna show real fast. You know what I mean? Like you guys, like how old are you now? Like
almost 35.
Yeah. So we're close in age. I'm 35. Like we're in our prime, dude. Like like I remember seeing my dad at 35, and I was talking to someone in the gym this morning. And this dude would put on 315 on bench, and I'm this little son like spotting him, and he's just repping it out. Like that's what age we're at right now. It's like everything's flowing. You gotta feed it, you know, and you gotta be the light for your family, for your friends around you, and there's no better way to show it than just be it. You know, like I could talk it all day, but like if I'm not gonna be it or whatever, like that's something my coach has been pushing me on, is just like you don't have to tell everyone what they need to be doing. Like you don't, like, because I'll get like frustrated with people who are like, I just want them to be like this, you know. It's like, well, just be the example, you know. Like people will see it, you know, and it's never, you know, it's tomorrow. We don't know if we're gonna be here tomorrow, so like I gotta start now. I gotta be it now, you know what I mean? So I don't know, there's a lot of things of like, especially this month, I've been thinking about, is just like, dang man, like I'm already hard enough on myself, but you know, I was like,
just be a legend, man. Like every day.
Because we all are, man. Like we all have, like, for your family, for our family, like we're all have this world so big, you know. So light up your own little spot, dude.
I think it's cool too, like going back on just thinking about, like, me and Cody were dealt a pretty weird hand growing up, because like we were talking about earlier, you know, we would be shoveling and our friends would be off skiing. You know, we were dealt a weird hand where, and even when we did get to go skiing, we had hand-me-downs. We never had new equipment. Like, I never had my first pair of brand new skis until I was like 23, 22 years old. Where all my friends got new stuff every season. And that's no hate on them. That's their parents setting them up, and, you know, and all those things. And our parents just, that wasn't priority. And there's no, I don't hate them at all for that. I don't judge them at all for that. That's just life.
Like, thank you.
But that's where I'm bringing it. You know, it's like, thank you. Like, me and Cody now see that. And I think that's, now everything's flipped, you know, like some of my friends don't even ride anymore. They don't do anything, you know. Now it's like, I got really into that after college, you know, because then I was like working and I could afford these things, and I was pushing myself to climb better, to bodybuild, to do all these things, you know. And I was like consuming all this knowledge, and I had all this time and like this freedom that finally was like there, you know. And then I would talk to Cody and be like, dude, you gotta go climbing, bro. Like, keep up with me. Like, let's go. Like, I'm freaking sending it. Like, you better send it too. So I was getting him stoked, and then now, like, life is funny because it's like everything I have done, yes, I'm very good at it still, and well, that same attitude that you're talking about has gone towards our business.
Like, what are you doing for your bit? And you're always talking to me like, oh, this is what, and like, you got to send it. Like a big gym. Part of the reason we did the gym was Colton just amping me up. Like, you got to go, you got to do it. And same with, like, it just goes back and forth. I mean, like he's saying, it'd be like, I remember seeing Colton and be like, dude, he's going to the climbing gym like once a week, and this guy's freaking like killing it, you know? So it'd be like, I got to keep, you know, and so I think that's the great thing about having a brother or even friends, like just to call them and tell them what you're doing or where you're at. Like push them, you know?
Yeah. And that's been so cool. Cause like I've pushed myself, right? I've had my moments. I've had my moments of climbing. I've had my moments of like investing in skiing, and like just, there was a point where I was skiing every single day, and that's when I got really good. You know, I stopped like being the filmer of the group and having crappy equipment. And I finally got this freaking experience skiing for the first time in my life. So I got good, and I loved it even more. And I could be like, oh, why me? Like I was a kid and I didn't have all these things, and I was crappy because of that reason. It's like, no, I see it now. Like when I go skiing, no one can make me depressed, you know, like I'm on top of the world because I cherish it, you know, and like, and it's cool because I have these things where I get really hyped. I get really good at it. I portray it to my brother because I'm hyped about it. He gets into it and he sends it harder, and he makes it a lifestyle, and he develops it into his routine. And till this day, everything that I've gotten stoked at, he's put it in his life. Where I'm more like, I got stoked at the moment, I got really good at it, and I can go back to it anytime I need. Life has taken me in a different direction, but I'm still there, and I still have those values. And I do like daydream of, man, I just wish I had that, like Cody's life, you know, in a sense of, I wish I was in a position or lived in a certain area where I did have these things like right at my grasp, you know, but now it's harder. And yes, I'm still like there, but you know, it's a little bit harder to go skiing or whatever during the winter, you know. But it's cool. Like I can almost like get you stoked on something and just watch him live it out, you know, in an unselfish type of way. It's not like I'm trying to have him live the life that I'm dreaming of. It's more like getting your brother stoked on something, to seeing something that is going to be healthy and good for them. It's not even my brother even. It's like you know, it's like I push you to maybe do things, or any of my friends, you know, I'm always like, send it, dude. Like, like let's go. Like, that's why in past episodes, you're always like including your friends. It's because that brings tribe, life. Dude. Like, it's the tribe feeling, and it's like you want to see people, like you want to invest in the people and see them like be the best that they can be, you know, and like, there's nothing more fulfilling than that, you know, outside of family and just like, you know, things like that. So it's just funny, the dynamic there, the where we're at now.
Well, I like what you were saying at first too about like just the work ethic and how, because we had to work. I mean, I personally bought my first pair of skis, brand new skis.
I remember K2s, man. I remember those things.
I mean, like I had a job when I was 13. We had to have my parents and my mom had to sign so I could get a job at the ski resort. I mean, we're working as soon as we could, and me and Colton, we worked all the way through high school. You know, we had jobs and like paying for all, like a lot of our own stuff. We get help from like my mom and stuff, but like we earn a lot of it, and then you just, I think that helps build the passion too. You know, you buy your own skis, you know what's in that. Like, there's more than just a pair of skis in there. There's like some sweat in those things, you know. So when you're riding them, and then like even to this day, you know, and like you buy something, like I just like, it just means a lot more than like, no, I'm gonna go wreck this thing. It's a couple bucks, whatever. It's like,
cherish it, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you can do the same thing probably. It's just like, it's great.
I'm going to do a little practice. So obviously off this podcast and the way that he talks about you, I could tell you guys are like pretty close. But even like now, after speaking to both of you, like at the same time while you're here, it's very evident that you guys like share a lot of things together, and you're like in life together, and you found like blood is thicker than water kind of thing, where like you guys could like just do everything together and just be fulfilled and be happy and like be accomplished. Thinking back about like your childhood, and like maybe you felt that way, maybe you didn't, maybe you were in it, but Are you guys proud? I mean, I think I know the answer to this already, but are you guys proud of like one another as far as like their accomplishments go? Like starting families, where they live, where they ended up, just like where they are, like as far as life goes, starting like, how do you guys feel about one another? Like if you guys could share that, because like growing up, like you're so innocent, you're kids, and like you talk about going and partying and like going and like just farting around doing stuff, but like now we're adults. And I talked to my brother about this. Like my brother like just updated his house, and he's a hard worker too. He started working as soon as he could as well. And like that kind of pushed me to like, he kind of like influenced me to show, like give me some kind of responsibility and work hard. And I was able to purchase my house, and like I attribute that to my brother, because like he pushes me in that way where like it's not like strict competition, it's friendly competition with like, look, I bought my house, you can do it too. Like I graduated, you could do it too, like all this stuff. So I tell him like, dude, I'm so proud of you. Like he hosted it for us for Thanksgiving because he just redid his backyard and he works hard for like what he has. And it's like, I'm so proud of you. Like you're hosting your family like in your beautiful backyard you just remade. Like whoever thought that we were going to get to this point that like we're able to like invite our family over to our house, like our parents over to our house, and they came from like Peru. They had nothing when they got here. They just had their clothes in their back. So like thinking about like you guys as like children and just like messing around and being so innocent, and like now what would you say like to each other about like you guys' accomplishments and just like where you guys are at in life? Any of you guys start.
I think, I don't know, it's been since we were kids, you know, every time like Colton, like I'd push him to do something and he did it, I was always just like, it's so awesome. You know what I mean? I think I'm very proud of where Colton's at. Like as a leader, like that's one of the hardest things to do. Not a lot of people have that, is that just to be a leader, you know, and to like, you know, take people on and teach them, and not just your family, but like other people too. And I think Colton's great at that, and it's amazing to see. And like just everything he does, you know, when I remember like he was talking about skiing, I remember like when he started being the skier at Snow Valley, it was I was so stoked. I'm like, of course, dude. Like you know, because when you're an older brother, you're always like, keep up, dude. Let's go. Like, freaking do this, you know, do that. And you're like, can't see why. But then when they're your age, they're twice as good as you, or if not more. They just, like, I think that's what's so cool about being. And so, like, everything that I have, you know, like, try to give him advice for, he does it. And, you know, like, he's killing it. You know? I do wish he would live in the mountains, but... I wish all my friends lived in the mountains.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that leadership thing is like I agree with that 100%. He's a great leader, great manager here. Like 100%. That was like a good compliment, and like so true to like what you are is like a good leader.
Yeah,
I try.
Now you go.
As I said earlier, like when I was younger and saw the potential that he had, he's beyond like anything that I could have like thought. It's like almost like, you know, something that you wish your kids would grow up to be successful and strong and healthy. And it's like, that's always what I wish for my brother, you know, because I always saw it. And he's, I mean, beyond anything I would have ever imagined, like strength-wise, knowledge-wise, life-wise, happiness. Like, yeah, for sure. Like, if it's proud of anybody in this life, it's him for sure. Just like where you're at and like what you're doing. And I mean, you're just in the beginning, I still think too, which is it's just, like you're saying, we're in our prime, and it's like we have so much. I mean, yes, it could end tomorrow, but like if life does bless you with 100 years, oh my gosh, there's so much.
It's crazy.
We're like infants in this life that we want to build, you know. So it's very exciting. It puts a smile on my face. It motivates me. You know, there's not a day I go to the gym. There's probably not a meal that I don't have without like thinking about my brother in the back of my head. Like, this is life.
Reps,
yeah, seriously, man.
Your brother's
like, I knew we were gonna be on the podcast today, so I was like extra.
For sure,
dude. Yeah. You know, so it's just great. I love it, man. I'm proud of you, dude. I love you.
Thanks, man. Love you too.
That's awesome, dude. Awesome. I mean, it's cool that you guys have like the relationship that you do, and it's inspiring. And even like me and my brother, like I said, we don't have a bad relationship, but it makes you want to like call my brother after this and like just say, hey, how you doing? Like, what are you doing? What are you up to? He actually just had a colonoscopy, so I hope you're doing well, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, we wanted you on the podcast for so long because he talks about you all the time, and it made me excited to get to know you, and like now I know why. It's just very obvious as to like why he loves you and you love him, and it's awesome to see. But
more to come.
Yeah, way more to come. Like I said, we're just scratching the surface on this, and I appreciate you coming. I'm sure Colton appreciates you coming and visiting his family and just spending some time with us.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Any final words?
Yeah, any final words for us?
Not at all. I mean, thanks for having me here. I mean, I've never done this kind of thing, so it's kind of like, I didn't know how it was going to be, but it's like, it's pretty dang cool.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Like just being able to talk and like, I don't know, I've always wondered how you like feel or how you're going to act, you know, but it's like you guys are, I don't know, it's a really cool thing that you're doing, and I don't know, keep pushing yourselves. I think you guys are killing it.
Awesome.
I mean, in every aspect. So
yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice to hear, especially coming from somebody like you now that I know you. So that's awesome. Yeah. Appreciate you.
Y'all ever need a life coach? If you ever need a trainer, if you ever need a gym visit, Stone Roots Gym in Running Springs, California. If you ever need ski buddy, if you ever need a tree chop down or any of that type of stuff, my brother will be right there. We'll put all of his contact information below. Businesses, follow his stuff on Instagram and all that good stuff.
Wasn't even thinking about that.
Yeah, dude. Plug. Thanks for the shout Put the plugs in, man. Put the tree service and the gym in there, bro.
Yeah, everything.
Tree service doesn't have much.
Just call his phone.
Call me.
Estimate coming soon.
Yeah. Well, yeah, again, appreciate you. And until next time, everybody. Peace.
Peace.